Welcome back everyone to the Complete Pineleaf. We are here at the threshold of Minas Tirith after the Battle of the Pelennor Field. We have Aragorn right here, but first I would like to speak with our friends here, the Riders 3. See how they fared. It looks like Oof is not in his best shape, but the other two are standing. Hello there.
What brings you to these lands?
What a day this has been, Pineleaf. Our foes were without end, and yet we triumphed against them. Leofdog is avenged, and my brothers and I can now rest without the fear of a traitor lurking amongst the ranks of our people. Out from the darkness a new dawn has burst forth, but what is it shall bring? I know not. A rest is well earned, but we can't linger long while the enemy contemplates his defeat. Another battle lies just beyond this horizon. I only hope that we are prepared. And what do you think?
Our mission is dire.
So this is the great ram the enemy used to penetrate the gates of the city? It is both impressive and dreadful, a masterwork of the enemy's evil. We could defeated that traitor without your aid, my friend. I'm gladdened that dear Leofdog is avenged, and that another enemy of our people lies broken on the field. Does the light burn your eyes too, Pineleaf? In our journey to the fields, I had begun to wonder if the skies would ever clear again. Let us hope that it promises better days to come. We can only hope. The dawnless day is finally breaking. It's still a bit on the cloudy side, but we only hope that that'll clear in time. What do you think? Are you okay?
You did very well.
Pineleaf, it's good to see you here at the battle's ending. Leofdog's murderer is slain, and the day is won. My brothers and I felled this troll as it made for the gates of the city, but I'm afraid my strength is spent. Worry not for me. It is nothing that rest and healing can't cure. Once we see the rest of the field swept of the foes, I shall take a trip to the baths or a fine bed. When next a battle calls upon us, I trust you shall fight at my side? We shall see. We shall see. Now, let's see what Aragorn has to say. Or is that LSR? Or whatever other name that he uses? Which name are we using today, Your Majesty? Oh, first of all, I suppose we start with Book 6.
The city stands, and Gondor remains unbound.
Things might have gone differently, Pineleaf, were it not for many sacrifices. The city stands, and Gondor remains unbowed before the might of Mordor. I'm weary in both body and spirit, weighed down by sorrow. There is anger too, anger at the forces of evil that have taken so many of our friends from us. But it is the sorrow I feel most strongly at the end of this terrible day. So we need to speak to survivors of the battle. Well, we have Horn here.
So much death. So many lives lost.
So
And for
much.
what?
For what? The armies of Mordor are repulsed, for now. But who can say that they will not return? It is this victory we bought with all of our dead? Good men will no longer return to their homes. And for what? A day of peace? A week? I I can't believe this is so. The Ranger Howross took the death blow that was meant for me, Pineleaf. I spoke only a few words to him, but now he's dead. Did he leave behind a wife? A child? What chain of events put his feet on the path that ended him here on the blood-soaked Pelennor? Is that truly to be the end of his tale? Is this to be the end of mine? Well, yeah, unfortunately I know what brought him here because I told him that he should come to aid Aragorn rather than stay in the Shire. Horn wears a haunted expression, his unblinking eyes glazed with tears. He doesn't seem to see you anymore. I thought I was a man of Rohan, but if this is what it means to be such a man, I can't bear it. That man is dead. Horn died on the Pelennor, and I will cry no tears for him. The old songs are just songs. They were never more than lies. I see the truth now. And the whole thing with Horn, of course, is, from what I heard, I don't think I ever took the other option, but I think if Harrow stays in the Shire, then Harrows isn't there to take the blow for Horn. And, of course, in the lore, Horn is listed as amongst the dead. So we'll have to see. So there's actually a path that leads to Horn actually dying, and somewhere he feels he's as good as dead.
I am saddened to hear Horn speak this way.
I heard his words, and my heart goes out for him. But I'm saddened to hear him speak this way, Pineleaf. Where is the man who spoke to me of fighting for home and hearth, of fighting for the glory of Rohan and the honor of Theoden King? Where is the man whose hard choice to leave Nona behind and made her world more safe than it was? But Theoden is dead, and many others besides. I no longer recognize the Horn that spoke to me on the ride from Rohan and assuaged my own doubts. That Horn is dead, slain by the horrors of war, if not by weapons. I don't want to forget that man, Pineleaf. I want the world to remember Horn as I knew him once. I want the world to remember every man who died here. Harding of the Wold, Guthlof, the banner-bearer of Theoden, hot-tempered Fostred, and doughty Grimbold. They will be just names to the folk that come after. But to me, they were men. Good men who fought and died for the promise that their lands will once more be safe. It was this promise that Horn tried to explain to me, but I didn't understand it then. I think I understand it now. I will remember the names of the men who died here today. I do not want them to be forgotten. I think in the game, it's Gleowina who eventually either writes the song that includes Horn's name in it, or else he's the teacher of the person who eventually writes the song, or something like this. So I think that's why Horn gets listed among the ranks of the dead in there. At least that's the supposition that I'm coming up with. And now you could talk to any of them. You have to talk to Horn first, assuming, of course, Horn's alive. I presume that if Horn's dead, you talk to Gleowina first, and he has a different speech there. But now we have everyone else to speak with, and this includes Éomer.
Who can say how long this victory will last?
The battle is nearly over, Pineleaf, but who can say how long this victory will last? My uncle and my liege has gone to his father's, and I rejoice that his last day was filled with glorious deeds. Many beheld the might of the mark on this day. Many beheld the might of the mark. I will be the king of Rohan now. It is merely hope's fancy that I believe the curse of Wuniere has run, and is now ended. Much grief followed at the train of Fengel. His kin died and the kingdom fell from honor. But Theoden King lifted Rohan once more to the height and mended the might of the mark. Can you say that it was not so? Sleep easy, Uriende. You have been paid, and under the rule of Aomer, no such injustice as was done to you will be done again. So, that curse, we hope, is ended. And here we have Dwayne here. Oh yes, he's the Lord of the Blackroot Vale, I presume. See, I try to remember all these people. Dwayne here is overcome with grief for his sons and pays no mind to the words of comfort. Yep, definitely the Lord of the Blackroot Vale. And here we have Skullbar. Life of me, I can't remember who he is. Maybe he's one of the Swan Knights we spoke to at some point.
Have you seen Deowina?
Pineleaf, can you tell me if you've seen Derwina? He's a man of Rohan, yellow of beard and hair in a ponytail. I met him during the battle and we fought side by side, but I've not seen him since early hours of the morning. Well, he was slain unfortunately when the Witch King descended upon Theoden. I feared that fate for him, Pineleaf, but I hoped it would not be. Alas for fair Weensig of Rohan. I wish it had been different. I am glad to have met dear Winnie and call him friend, though it be for but a few moments of battle. It's a cruel war to make us bid farewell to friends so soon upon meeting them. Ah, yes. Poor Weensig. And now we have... Gimli! Hello!
Well done, well done. We have pushed them back for now.
I'm just happy to be off the ship's Pineleaf. I was not made for the sailing life. Indeed, I was still a little queasy for several minutes after we arrived at the field of battle, and was not at my very best. The fighting set right before me long, but I hope wherever we go next, the journey will be by land, and not by river. Well, let's see, who else do we need to speak with? Oh, of course! We have Imrahil. Imrahil!
This is a hard day, but we have victory at the end of it.
During the battle, I encountered men bearing the body of Theoden back to the city. They carried too a woman, Eowyn, niece of the king. They thought her dead, but I perceived that she lived. I sent them to bring her to the healers instead of to the dead house. Her life is in their hands now. Alright, well, so this is where our character learns that Eowyn survived the battle, though not in the best shape possible. Well, what do you say, Aragorn, Elessar, or whatever?
I think Gothmog will find he values his life more highly now that it can be lost.
Gothmog will not dare to come forth and battle for some time, Pineleaf. During that time, we will need to determine our course of action, but I don't know what is best to do. We need time to heal from our hurts and to mourn for our dead. We cannot take much time for it, and certainly not as much as they deserve, but we must. Galadriel saw much of today, I think, but our actions and our choices still have meaning. Nothing is set. Your deeds today and those of your fallen friends mean much to me. Thank you for your courage and your loyalty, Pineleaf. I take neither for granted, and I appreciate them both. I will take both. It will take both if we are to defy Sauron, as we defied his servant Gothmog, and put an end to the evil that brews in this dark land. I salute you, my friend. Let us heal our hurts. Let us remember our dead, and let us think of tomorrow. There is still much that must be done. Still much.
The battle is all but ended now, my friend.
Pineleaf, jump astride the horse over there, and it will speed you from the killing fields, taking you to the aftermath of the battle. Boy, that is so gamey in the way it's worded. I will speak to you again once we have established a pavilion, and which I can plan what comes next. I don't think it would be right for me to enter the city at this time. So he will not enter at this time. Oh, one thing that I did not note during the course of the battle was the prophecy of the Wardens. The Warden prophecy is actually set during the Battle of the Pelennor Fields. It has to do with the coming of the black ships coming up all around here, and in the others they went and interrupted the action if you were of the right class, and gave you sometimes a little bit more. For example, with Burglars and Lore Master, they have you go off a little bit in Orthanc, and in the Hunters they have the voice over going over whatever the words of Galadriel were. But there are a few classes for which the Battle of the Pelennor Fields was the fulfillment of their prophecy, and they decided they couldn't interrupt the battle in order to put that in there. But yes, if you recall the Warden prophecy talking about black sails coming and how that affects us, that was the prophecy there. Now, one of these is that is before the battle? No, we don't want to go before the battle. We want to go after the battle, because the battle has ended. The city most certainly has seen better days, though at least it still stands. And I was going to say it's still in one piece, but perhaps that's not completely accurate. Fortunately, the main part of the city is in a reasonable number of pieces, and we'll have to do with that for now. But I'm sure there is a great deal to prepare, and we have a great number of people to speak with. Like this introduction, though.
I thank you for coming.
While there's still much work to be done in the city, you and I are now needed elsewhere, at Aragorn's pavilion upon the Pelennor, where we must take stock of the day and plan for the future. Come, and I will meet you there. We shall see what Aragorn has to say. Yes, and we will need to meet with Aragorn then, and see what he has to say, and find out what he plans. And see if we could see the pavilion from there. Well, I guess that's what that is up there. What will Aragorn say, and what does he plan? We'll find that out in the next episode of Complete Pineleaf.